Hi everyone, good evening. How are you doing on this chilly Friday night? Good evening, great to see all of you. Welcome to Leverage Virtual's webinar on Stand Out and Get Hired. While waiting for the others to come, type VA in the chat if you are ready and excited. Again, type VA in the chat if you are ready and excited. Awesome. Okay, so I think everyone is ready and excited right now. We would also love to know if you are a newbie or an experienced VA. Okay, if you are already working as a VA, comment 1. And if you are an aspiring VA, comment 2 in the chat. All right, so we got here 1, 2. So we got a good mix of people right here. Okay, so nice to see your responses. We got seasoned VAs here and aspiring VAs. So by the way, my name is Sha and welcome to this highly anticipated webinar, courtesy of Leverage Virtual, entitled Stand Out and Get Hired, Landing Your Dream Job as a VM. Now, we are delighted to have each and every one of you join us tonight as we embark on this exciting webinar together. Can you comment your location in the chat so we know where you are joining us from? Okay. Jennifer is from Parañaque. Christian is from Davao City. Leah is from Davao. Camille from Valenzuela City. We also have Joshua from QC. Tina from Davao. Dal from Cebu. Awesome. Thank you for responding, guys. Cool. Thank you, everyone, for your active participation. I'm loving your energy. Now, in today's rapidly evolving world, the role of virtual assistants has become increasingly vital, as you know, as businesses adapt to new technologies and remote work environments. The demand for skilled VAs continues to soar. And I'm sure you are here right now because you are that VA willing to soar, right? So if you agree, type yes. Are you that soaring VA? Okay. Now, whether you are an experienced professional or you're looking to enhance your skill or someone who is just starting your career in this field, this webinar is designed to provide you with necessary knowledge, tools, and guidance to excel as a VA. All right. So a lot of yeses. And to and throughout this interactive virtual event, we have carefully curated useful and relevant topics that will equip you with invaluable insights into the world of virtual assistants. Now, our team here, you see the people with the LV tag or with the LV logo, that's our LV team. So we will be sharing our expertise and our experiences to inspire and empower you to land your dream job. And yes, we encourage everyone to stay up until the end of this webinar because we are going to share with you free resources and our CEO Brian Murphy's ebook all for free. Did you hear that right? It's all for free. So if you want to get our ebook, the handouts, and our other resources that we are giving out for free, type free. Yes. If you want that, type free in the chat. Awesome. Yes. We love freebies, right? So stick with us until the end. So today in this webinar, we are going to cover the following topics. Okay, next slide. So understanding a VA, getting started. So what are the tools and the applications that you need? Creating your resume, how to ace your job interview, and we will be having a little Q&A at the end of our webinar. So if you got questions, please write them down or please park them and we will be answering them by the end of the webinar. Okay, so if you are ready, comment ready in the chat below, please. Comment ready if you're ready. Awesome. I see people are ready right now. So let's now welcome our first speaker. Okay, to talk about virtual assistants, no other than our CEO's EA, Dalila Devon. Go
Thank you.
down.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that very wonderful and energetic introduction, Sha. And hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the webinar. And we truly appreciate for you to take for taking the time to join us. I am Dalila, but you can call me Dal for short. And I'll be talking about understanding a virtual assistant. Now, you may have heard what a virtual assistant or a VA is, but let's dive deeper and understand what a VA really is. So first, let's define what is a VA. So a VA is an independent contractor that provides various admin, technical, or creative support services remotely. And we assist business owners, professionals, and entrepreneurs with tasks that can be delegated externally. Now, we can work anywhere we want, but we often work from our own location inside our own home. So we may have, virtual backgrounds behind us, but in my part, if I take it out, you'll be able to see that I am actually inside my bedroom and working and talking in front of you. So can you comment down in the chat box wherever you are in your house right now or whatever type of place? So let's see. Oh, in the bedroom. Shai's also in the bedroom. Amber is in the bedroom. So most of us were only in our houses. Oh, there you go. Got living room. All right. So you can work anywhere you want. So it may be in the coffee shops, in the beach, or even the mountains. So just make sure that you have access to a stable internet connection. So that makes the VA career versatile and convenient. Now, that's just one advantage of being a virtual assistant. So we'll be talking more about the advantages in the later part of our agenda. So we also communicate and collaborate with our clients via email, messaging apps, or virtual collaboration tools like Zoom and Google Meet. And we'll be talking more about the tools and apps later. And then VAs, we are typically hired through contracts or service agreements that outline the terms of our engagement with our clients, including our scope of work, our payment structure, and confidentiality agreements. And are you worried if there's an age requirement to become a VA? Like, are you too young or are you too old? Or are you also worried if you need a degree or do you need to be a college graduate to become a VA? Well, good news is there's typically no age limit for being a virtual assistant, and you don't have to be a college graduate to become a VA. You may be an undergrad or even high school level. As long as you have the necessary skills and qualifications, you can pursue this profession. Now, let's talk about why do business owners, professionals, and entrepreneurs need a VA. It's because VAs provide support, save time, increase productivity, and allow business owners to focus on core activities that drive growth and success. They'll be able to focus more on generating revenue, income, instead of facing those repetitive admin tasks. That's why they need VAs to delegate these time consuming tasks. Now, some of you here may already know your niche or knows what area of expertise you would like to focus on as a VA. And some of you here may be undecided yet. So let's go to the types of VA jobs and you'll be able to know which fits your skills, interests, and passions. All right. So there are quite a lot of VA types depending on the skills and expertise. And here are some common types of virtual assistant jobs. So the first one is the administrative assistant. So they provide administrative support such as email and calendar management, scheduling appointments, organizing documents, data entry, making travel arrangements, and handling basic bookkeeping tasks. So think of them as someone who assists in making the business run smoothly by providing essential support and helping streamline the day-to-day operations of your clients. The next one that we have is the social media manager. Now, they help in managing and maintaining the social media accounts for their clients by creating content, scheduling posts, engaging with followers, monitoring analytics, and implementing social media strategies. They are the ones who help a company shine on social media, may it be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, by creating captivating content, interacting with followers, showcasing the company's personality, and so on and so forth. So, if you are someone who's aspiring to be a virtual assistant and you find yourself spending a significant amount of time in social media, then why not consider applying for a role as a social media manager? So, it seems like a natural fit for your skills and interests. Next is the graphic designer or the video editor VA. So if you have a passion for graphic design or video editing and you find yourself spending a lot of time honing your skills in these areas, you might want to consider applying as this role or as a graphic designer or video editor VA. So they create visual assets, design logos, um, banners, social media graphics, presentations, edit videos, reels, and other marketing materials. Next on the list is digital marketing VA. Now, they specialize in online marketing efforts such as social media management, content creation, email marketing, search engine optimization or SEO, online advertising, data analysis, website management, and more. So if you're very techy, then maybe you can consider this role, the digital marketing VA. Next that we have is the e-commerce VAs. Now, these virtual assistants assist with online store management, including product listings, inventory management, order processing, customer service, and marketing. And the most popular e-commerce platforms are Shopify and Amazon. Now, the next one is very broad, the real estate virtual assistants or the REVA as we all know. So in the real estate industry, virtual assistants can play various roles to support real estate agents, brokers, property managers, or real estate companies. And there are a lot of roles in the real estate, and we'll be talking them one by one. The first one is the lead generation VA. Now, what does a lead generation VA do? So they do research and identify potential leads, gather contact information, and qualify leads. They do a lot of prospecting activities in order to qualify leads. They focus on generating leads and capturing potential customer interest through various marketing strategies like email marketing, calling, and so on and so forth. Next that we have under the real estate virtual assistants is the listing coordinator VA. Now, they assist with managing property listings. Now, when we say listings, it refers to a property that is available for sale or rent. Now, that's just a formal way of saying that a property is being actively marketed to potential buyers or tenants. They may help create property descriptions, upload listings to multiple listing services or MLS. Now, some of you may just have heard that term, the multiple listing services. Now, that is a comprehensive database used by real estate agents where you can see various properties and their details like pricing, location, features, and more that are available for sale or rent. And listing coordinator VAs also update online listings, coordinate with photographers or videographers for property media. Next on the list is the Transaction Coordinator VA. Now, transaction coordinators support real estate transactions by coordinating paperwork, managing deadlines, communicating with clients and stakeholders, and ensuring compliance with legal and contractual requirements. Now, don't be confused with the roles of a listing coordinator and a transaction coordinator just because both have coordinators in their names and both are also in the real estate industry. But just to simplify their difference is that a listing coordinator VA focuses on marketing and promoting properties for sale, while the transaction coordinator handles the administrative tasks involved from the start of the contract to closing. Now, if we have the listing and transaction coordinator in the buying or selling of a home, how about for the leases or the renting? Can you guess what type of VA is that? Can you comment down in the chat box if you have any idea what type of VA that handles rent or leases? Just a wild guess. I'll count to five, four, three, two, one. All right, we have a wild guess listing VCA. The next VA that we have is the property management VA. All right, the property management VA, they specialize in property management and support property management managers in tasks such as rent collection, lease administration, maintenance coordination, tenant communication, and property inspection coordination. Now, the next two roles may somewhat related, but let's dissect what their differences are. So let's have their definitions first. The first one is the inside sales agent VA. Now, they specialize in assisting real estate professionals with a remote sales effort. They primarily concentrate on lead generation, nurturing leads, and setting appointments for the sales team. while the next role is the cold caller VA. They make unsolicited phone calls to potential leads or prospects in order to simulate interest, acquire data, and potentially set appointments. Now, just to give a clear difference between the two roles, because both roles involve sales and calling, an inside sales agent is working with warm leads. So, what are warm leads? These leads are those that are already in your client's database, those individuals who have already shown some level of interest in buying or selling a home. They have already attended open houses, submitted inquiries, or have been referred. Now, these warm leads typically have a higher likelihood of converting into actual clients, and those are the types of leads that are being worked on by an ISA VA. Now, while a cold caller, those are the cold caller focus specifically on outbound calling or outbound prospecting and initiating conversations with potential customers who have not yet shown interest in the company's offering. So basically, the goal of a cold caller VA is to initiate contact with individuals who may have a potential interest in buying, selling, or investing in real estate properties. Now, if you are currently working in a BPO and you want to transition into the VA profession and you don't know where to start, maybe you can consider the somewhat related to your role right now, which is the ISA or cold caller VA. It involves a lot of calling too. And then that's it. Those are the most common types of VAs. And I hope that after you have seen them, you now have a clearer path as to what role or niche you'd like to focus on. Kindly comment in the Zoom chat box below which role is your most favorite or which role would you like to focus on. Right. Shalom. Digital marketing. SMM. How about the others? What type? E-commerce, SMM, and Reva. All right. So there we have different niche and yes, correct. Reva, also e-com. So a lot of us here wants to become a Reva. That's great. All right. So and of course, with these job roles, we also have our rates. And when it comes to the rates of these jobs, it varies. So the rates of the virtual assistants in the Philippines can vary based on factors such as the VA's level of experience, the skill set, the complexity of tasks, and the client's requirements. Now, here are the common ranges for a VA rates in the Philippines. So for entry level VAs, the rates can range from $3 to $6 per hour. Now, these VAs typically have basic administrative skills and may require some training or guidance. The next is experienced VAs. Rates can range from $7 to $11 per hour. These VAs have a few years of experience and specialized skills. And then we also have highly skilled or specialized VAs. The rates can range from $12 to $25 per hour because these VAs possess advanced skills or niche expertise in areas like real estate, e-commerce, or project management. But it's very important to note that these rates are only approximate and can vary depending on individual negotiations, the complexity of the tasks that will be assigned to you, and the value that you provide as virtual assistant. Now, becoming a VA can be quite tempting, especially when the pay is very enticing and the job aligns with your passions. However, before making any decisions, it's very crucial to carefully consider the advantages and disadvantages. So now let's dive into the pros and cons of being a VA and explore what it entails. So shall we get started? Comment down ready in the chat box. So we can start with the pros and cons of being a VA. All right, there we go. So let's start first with the pros. First one, and I really love this first pro, flexibility. So as mentioned earlier, we have the freedom to work from anywhere as long as we have stable internet connection. This allows us for a flexible work environment and the ability to create a better work-life balance. Do you want to travel while working? Sure, you can do that as a VA. Next that we have is flexibility. Now, as a virtual assistant, you have the opportunity to be your own boss, set your own schedule, and choose the clients and projects that align with your skills and interests. You can set your working hours, but it's also important to note that there are some clients which require you to work during their business hours. And here at Leverage Virtual, most of our clients are from the US. You'll be working graveyard shifts. It's going to be their time and during our time, it's going to be 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Next is diverse opportunities. Now, VAs can work with clients from various industries. So, not only in real estate, but we also have mortgage, insurance, healthcare, and many more. And that provides us exposure to different types of businesses, tasks, and challenges. Now, this diversity can help develop a broad skill set and expand professional horizons, which lead us to the next pro, which is professional growth. So, since we can work with clients from various industries, we have the opportunity to continuously learn and develop new skills. It allows for personal and professional growth and the acquisition of valuable experience. And last but not the least is, can we comment a wild guess what's the last pro as a virtual assistant? But there are actually other pros, but I just made them all right, there we go. We got high pay and compensation. All right. So that the last but not least is the increased earning potential. So depending on your skills and expertise, VAs can often earn competitive rates, especially if they possess specialized knowledge or high demand services. Now, those are the pros of being a virtual assistant, but that's not all pros as a virtual assistant, because there are also some that are not mentioned, but those are, the most important pros of being a virtual assistant. Now, next that we have is the cons. The first is client dependence. Now, virtual assistants rely on clients for their work and income. So, if a client's project ends or the client terminates the contract, so there may be a need to find new clients or projects to maintain a steady workflow. Next that we have is irregular income. So, as a virtual assistant, your income may not be consistent or predictable because clients' needs can fluctuate. And securing a steady stream of income may require ongoing marketing and networking efforts. But take note that even if the income is irregular, the income earned by VAs are higher than working locally. Now, next is self employment responsibilities. Now, VAs are independent contractors and we are not employees to our clients. So, we do not have the benefits that a typical local employee in the Philippines has, like the 13th month pay. We don't have that, holiday pay, SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth. So we are responsible for managing and paying our own taxes. We also send invoices to our clients for the services that we have offered to them. We also pay SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth in our own. So however, as independent contractors, we can set our own rates and even manage our work schedules. Next is isolation. Now, working remotely as a virtual assistant can be isolating because it lacks the in person social interactions and camaraderie found in a traditional office setting. Now, some VAs may be working in a team virtually, and you can see your team members or your client via Zoom physically, but physically you are working alone, and some work schedules are graveyard, just like ours. So it requires self discipline and self motivation to stay focused and connected. Now, last but not the least is skills development and market competition. Now, the VA industry is booming, so there are a lot of virtual assistants looking for remote jobs. Now, we have lots of competitors. That's why we need to continuously update our skills and stay informed about the industry trends to remain competitive. Now, being a VA requires continuous learning and adaptation to stand out. It's very important to note that being a VA is an ongoing journey of growth and learning. We are constantly expanding our knowledge and skills. We're always striving to improve because learning is a never ending adventure for us VAs. Now, whether the pros outweigh the cons, it ultimately depends on your preferences, circumstances, and career goals. Because what may be considered as a benefit for me could be a disadvantage for you. Now, those are basically everything you need to know about being a VA, from the definition to the types of the VAs, the rates, and the pros and cons. In the end, it's very important to carefully consider your personal and professional priorities as well as your comfort level with the challenges and rewards of being a VA. Now, you may ask yourself, is the VA profession for me? Kindly comment in the chat box. Yes, if that's for you, if you feel that the VA profession for you, and no, if you are still hesitating. Right, we've got quite a lot of energy in the chat box. Yes, yes, all caps with exclamation point. I love the energy. All right. Now, so how are you going to evaluate yourself? So, by conducting thorough research, talking to experienced virtual assistants, and assessing your own skills and preferences can help you make an informed decision about whether the VA profession is for you or not. So, I think that's basically everything you need to know about being a VA, the basics of a virtual assistant. And I hope the information has been very helpful to you. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and for participating to the first agenda of our webinar. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Doll, for that information packed session. I think most of our participants here are getting a good glimpse of the roles and functions of an outstanding VA. So, yeah, let's proceed with the next one. By the way, guys, don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. We will be dropping, okay, the links are there in the chat to our social media pages and groups for you to follow. So if you want to get VA tips and tricks or to learn about our available hiring and the positions, just go to those pages and groups and don't forget to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe. And now to talk about the basic tools and equipment that VAs would need, will be using. So let's call in Mr. Ralph Lawrence Tolentino.
Thank you, Sha, and thank you, Dal, for that amazing information you just shared to us. I'll be talking about tools and applications. Now, this is a really, really great opportunity to tell you a great way to pass your interviews and to nail your interviews. So first and foremost, when it comes to tools and applications, when it comes to your interviews, most of the time the employer is not going to ask you of the tools and applications that you know. The great thing is you can 100% butt that in, and you can show that you have experience to these different kinds of tools and applications. And believe me, your chances of getting hired will be higher. I had a lot of experience when it comes to interviews. I've been working for 3 years now, and I'm working as a social media manager for Leverage Virtual. And passing interviews really is mostly telling them that you have experience. Now, where can you use these tools and applications? You can put it into your resume, or you can put it into your interviews. You can tell them the tools and applications that you know. Now, you have to be proactive with this when it comes to interviews, because again, most of them will not is not going to ask you of the applications and tools that you know. Um, you have to know that you have experience when it comes to working from home, and of course some of us has no experience at all and are just beginning their journey. But if you have tried noodling around these applications, or even just tried to look at them in YouTube and try to tell them that yes, you have knowledge of these applications, it is a plus for employers, believe me. um, it is also an important way of saying that you embrace remote work, because some of these applications really is based on working remotely, since your client is not managing you 100% of the time. Okay, so let's begin. So as an overview, this is going to be really fast. So we have password and management tools, we have communication and collaboration tools, we have project management tools, and then of course we'll talk about the equipments when it comes to your hardware. We have time management and productivity tools, and we have file storage and document management tools, email management tools, online calendar and scheduling tools, and of course CRM. Okay, so let's begin with your equipment. So this is a way of saying that you are gear ready when it comes to working from home. And this is the suggestion that I'm going to tell you. You need to have at least an i3, i5, and i7 computer. So a good place to start is around i5, i3 fifth gen, and going up. An equivalent of that is Ryzen. You can have Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9, or maybe A8. But Ryzen is really a way to go. Of course, you will need a noise cancellation headset, and the reason for that is when you're doing calls and when you're doing trainings like this, you need to have a decent sound quality, right? Next would be at least an 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, RAM is the capacity of your computer to handle open applications. Now, the lower your RAM is, the you have a small amount of headroom to open applications. So the bigger it has, the more Google tabs you can open. So it's very important you have at least 8 gigabytes RAM of RAM. Next would be SSD. Now, SSD is an equivalent of HDD or hard disk drive, but the reason that we wanted to use SSD or a solid state drive is because it's faster. Next would be a graphics card if needed. If you want to be a graphics designer, a video editor, if you're using Adobe Premiere Pro or Adobe After Effects, which are editing apps, and they require heavily on graphics card, then you will need one. And of course, a good ISP. A good ISP would be a speed of around 50 Mbps and higher. Okay, so that is for the equipments. Next. Now let's begin with the software that you need to know. So again, this is very, very crucial. If you can say this into your interview, I'm going to assure you that the employer is going to nod their heads. So first is communication and collaboration tools. Now, when you're working remotely, communication is very, very important because you don't work in an office, you're not with your boss. And so if you say I have experience with communication tools like Slack and Microsoft Teams, these two are the most popular communication platforms in remote work. When you're a VA, it's almost 100% necessary to know what is Slack and what is Microsoft Teams. Also, Google Chat and Zoom. Of course, we're using Zoom at the moment. They are very, 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 very popular as a communication tool. And you will notice yourself using this almost 100% of the time when you're getting hired or when you get hired. So telling your employees that you know Slack and you know Microsoft Teams is a plus right away. So you can use this for real-time messaging, for file sharing, and collaboration as well. Next. Next would be project management tools. And believe me or not, in my experience, every time I say I have experience with using project management tools, it's really a plus. You will see the employers having their bright eyes on you. And I usually put this in when they say, can you tell me how usually do you start your task? I right away say, first of all, I use a project management tool to organize my task. It's really a plus. Believe me, always say this into your interviews. So what are project management tools? Well, project management tools uses boards, lists, and cards. You can track tasks and also the progress of your tasks. You can also collaborate this with your boss or your client. So very popular is Trello, Sana, and Basecamp. These three are very, very popular when it comes to VAs. They are almost the same. You have to navigate them differently, but almost the same goal. Go to YouTube, try to research for them. They are very, very intuitive. They're very, very easy to learn, and having knowledge to just one of these is really a plus. Next. All right. Next would be time management and productivity tools. Now, a sample of this is Time Doctor, Clockify, and Screenshot Monitor. Now, since we are working from home, we have to be 100% embracing the fact that some clients would like to know if we're working or not. If you say this into your interviews, clients will have the idea that, oh, this guy is really willing into working from home, and he does know that I wanted to know if he's working or not. I wanted to know where my money is going to. So if you say that I'm familiar with Time Doctor, I'm familiar with Clockify, I know that my screen is going to be monitored, then it's really a plus. So Time Doctor, Clockify, and Screenshot Monitor offers the same thing. So it's a time tracker that helps you track and analyze how you spend your time on a different task or project. So sometimes it captures your screen, but again, if you're applying and if you're a newbie, you have to embrace these applications. Okay, next. Another very important thing to say is that you have an idea of what file storage and document management tools are. And an example of that is, of course, I think we all know this, Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox. These three are very, very popular when it comes to remote work. Now, Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox all offers the same thing. you can put files in there. It's for file storage. Now the best thing is you can collaborate with your boss. So he can download the file, you can download the file, he can edit the file, you can edit the file. It's really, really great when it comes to remote work because all the files, all the documents you need to have is going to be shared in one file storage. Now, always say this into your interviews, and 100% it will help you passing the interview. Next. Next would be email management tools. Now, when you're a virtual assistant, aside from Slack as a direct communication, formal communications will go through emails. And having an idea what emails are is very, very crucial when it comes to remote work. Now, of course, very popular applications would be Gmail and Microsoft Outlook. You will have to go to YouTube and look at these if you don't have experience. But of course, I 100% know that you have idea on what are these, but it's really great that you can mention this into your interviews because it just tells the client that you have an idea on formal communication. Okay. Next would be online calendars and scheduling tools. Now, some of the virtual assistants, when you go into a different path, let's say you want to be an executive virtual assistant, and executive virtual assistants, they work beside the CEO. And when you work beside the CEO, one of the things that you always do is manage their calendars and manage their appointments. Now, if you're applying into these kind of positions, you will have to know what online calendars and scheduling tools are. Now, very popular applications would be Google Calendar and Calendly. Now, they both offer the same thing, and they're very, very popular when it comes to remote work. So what they do is they are calendar apps that allows you to schedule appointments, set reminders, and share your availability with others. Now, Calendly is really, really good at this as well because when it comes to Calendly, a calendar with your appointments will be sent to the person you want to meet with, and they can select on those vacant slots when they want to meet. This is very, very used. This is very, very used in remote work and especially with your clients. They use this when it comes to meeting people and meeting with leads. Next would be CRM or customer relationship management application. Now, real estate is a very, very popular competitive space at the moment. And believe me or not, when you want to be a VA in the real estate world, you have to know at least one CRM. It's a plus, believe me or not. So what are the examples of these? You have HubSpot, you have Salesforce, and you have Zoho CRM. These are very, very popular, and of course, there's a lot there. You can go to YouTube and research. It offers the same results. Now, this is a different animal because you will have to learn this application very, very deep because it's not as user friendly as the other tools that I have mentioned. But if you know a CRM tool and you're applying into a real estate space, it's going to pass your interview. It's really amazing how people with CRM knowledge how they pass interviews. You have to really learn CRM. Next. Next would be password management tools. Now, why is this important? Because this will tell the clients that you are organized as well, even into your logins. Now, if you work as a virtual assistant, there's a lot of logins. There's a lot of passwords that you have to save. And the problem is, you don't want to ask the same question to your clients. You don't want to ask them the same logins that you asked yesterday. So if you have a password management tool, all your password is going to be saved in a one safe place. Two famous applications for that is going to be LastPass and 1Password. Almost all CEOs know this. You have to know this. It will help you as well, even for your own logins in your social media accounts. It will help you and will help you organize your passwords. Next. Now, here are the applications that are worth mentioning. First would be Canva. It's a really, really powerful tool. Just put that into your interview. Just tell them that you have knowledge with basic graphic design and you have an idea of what Canva is. It's very, very important. Canva as well is very, very self-intuitive. You can just go to canva.com, do your graphic design in there. There's a lot of templates to choose from, and at the end of all that, you have a graphic design. It looks 100% great. So please try Canva out, and you can put into your resume that you know graphics design because you know Canva. Okay, it's a plus. Next would be the Google Suites. So, Google, what are Google Suites application? You have Google Docs, you have Google Sheets, you have Google Forms. The way how you're registered in this webinar, it's a plus as well. Of course, I know you have experience, especially with Microsoft. You have experience with Microsoft Word, Microsoft Sheets, Microsoft PowerPoint. It's the same thing. But the good thing with Google Suites is it's online based. So, whatever computer you log in, your document will be there as long as you have your email logged in. What a great application to use. Next would be Grammarly. You wouldn't believe me how important Grammarly is, especially to us Filipinos that has English as a second language. Now, if you have Grammarly, it will correct your grammar. Of course, that's very, very important, especially when you're writing formal emails, especially when you're doing social media posting. Well, when you have to write something, please use Grammarly, even not as a virtual assistant. um, Grammarly is very, very helpful in writing and doing content. Next would be antivirus. Now there's Bitdefender, there's Kaspersky, and a whole lot more application. But the best thing about saying that you have idea what an antivirus is, will tell the clients that you value their security, because since you will have the logins, they have to make sure that it's safe with you. And when you have a good antivirus and if you are subscribing to a good antivirus, they will feel a lot safer. And last but not least, and a very, very useful tool that is just in your computer is Notepad, because you can put anything, you can write anything, just to make you remember stuff, just to remember the things that you want to do. It is very, very useful, even if you're a VA or not. Okay, so I hope you learned a lot from the discussion. Thank you very much. Please make sure to like our Facebook page and all other links that are in the chat. We have a lot of careers coming up, believe me. And so if you are following and if you like the page, you will right away see the next career upcoming into the page. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ralph. So, wow, those are a lot of tools to remember, but they are really very important, especially when onboarding as a VA. So that will make our VAs not just mentally ready, emotionally ready, but device, tool, and equipment ready. All right. So we are all geared up to our freelancing journey. All right. And next up, I am going to share with you how to stand out and get hired through your resume. So you might be wondering, why are we including, you know, because cover letters or say curriculum vitaes or resumes are basics, but why did we include this? So the question is, why is it important to have a polished resume when you are applying for a job? Now, your resume communicates your qualifications, who you are, and what makes you different to employers, to your clients, to recruiters. And in the tough job market, especially when the pandemic hit, right? Everyone transitioned to working from home. Everyone transitioned to working online. So from working in the corporate setting, everyone tried freelancing. So in the tough job market, you need a resume that will help you stand out in a sea of applicants. So ultimately, the purpose of strategically targeting and having a polished resume is to get you an interview and land a job, right? And not just any job, it's landing your dream job, right? Because yeah, somehow just any job as long as I become a VA. But no, that's not our goal here. You land your dream job. That means you're working on what you do best. All right. So let's begin. So are you still having a lot of learning so far? So far so good. So can you type 7 in the chat if you are still eager to learn more? All right. So at least you're still there. So this guide will show you how to write a VA resume that will land you more interviews, and some tips and examples on how to format your resume and how to use your resume as a marketing tool to get any job that you want. All right. Now, what should your resume look like? Now, to get you hired and land your dream job, your resume should look professional, simple, and modern. That's just the basic rule for any resume. Now, the first step towards success is using a resume template that will look good. Next slide. So my first tip for you is to ditch the traditional look. Okay, so if you're a job hunter, I suggest you stop creating your resume for Microsoft Word. Can you type Y if you're still doing that, or if your resume is still formatted in the Microsoft Word? Do we have people who will admit? Okay, so and stop doing your resume in using Microsoft Word and start creating your resume using Canva, because it will help you create a better and more creative resume. So just a quick run through. So you just have to go to canva.com and create your resume, or create your free account. You can also have a paid account if you like. And boom, in the search bar, you just have to type in a resume template. And next slide. You will be given a lot of templates to choose from and use. Okay. And Canva is very user friendly. You can customize it according to your liking. And all you have to do is to just pick your ideal format and choose a stunning layout for your resume. You can also share your resume. So instead of uploading your resume, you can share it via online. So you can have you just have to share your link, so you can share it with anyone. You can have them view your resume, edit your resume, and you can share the template of your resume with a friend. Okay. And you can also download your resume in different formats: JPEG, PNG, PDF. But my tip for you is to save your resume in a PDF format, unless your recruiter or your client asks otherwise. So save your resume in a PDF format, because it ensures that it can be read on any device. Okay. Now, most recruiters are in a hurry because they are screening a lot of resumes. Say for one position, we will be receiving 100 applicants for just one position. So the screening process starts with the submission of the resume. So that's why you have to make sure that your resume demonstrate all your capacities in a flash. It must comprise your experience, your talents, your skills, and potentials. And fun fact, just for you to know, that most recruiters actually, it would take us 6 seconds or less to check your resume. And that's where we decide if your resume deserves another look. And yeah, so you must not treat your resume just like a TOR, or just any just a list of your achievements and experiences, but you have to treat your resume as your marketing tool, as I've mentioned earlier, to stand out among other competitors. So your resume should reflect professionalism, diligence as a working professional, and personification. So you need to put a personal touch on your resume, so they get to know what kind of person that you are. All right, so let's go to the second part of our resume making: how to format your resume. So before we go to the parts, question: how long should your resume be? Ay, andyan na yung sagot eh. So your resume should be 1 page long, but in specific situations, it is still acceptable to have 2 page resume. Now, on average, candidates with less than 5 years of experience shouldn't need more than 1 page of resume. Okay. Now, if you happen to need more room, then all you have to do, the tip would be for you to find a 2-column resume template in Canva that will increase the amount of information that you can display in your resume, so that even if you are an experienced BA, you can still have a 1 page long resume. But if you really cannot sum up, or you have really more experience and you can sum up in one page, then a two-page resume template is perfectly fine. Don't worry. But as much as possible, avoid having a resume that is 3 to 5 pages long. Okay? Recruiters, clients, employers do not have time to screen a 5 page long resume. Okay? So the first part is the header. So the goal is to use a professional header at the top with your complete name. Make sure that your name is spelled correctly, the position that you are applying for, and include your contact information. So next slide, the sample. So you get to see here, part of the header is your photo. So we have your name spelled out cleanly and neatly, very readable, the position that you are applying for, and the contact information. So the contact information that are important is your phone number, your email address, and your home address. But phone number and email would actually suffice. You don't need to put your WhatsApp, your Skype, your any other numbers that you have. At least we as recruiters, our employers have free means, at least 2 to 3 means to contact you, so that when we invite you for a job interview, at least we would be able to exhaust means to reach you to have a final interview with us. Okay. And then also, if you're applying, we go back now? Okay. Question. Is it okay to use the same resume for every application? Who among you, when you were applying for a job, sends the same generic resume to all the applications, to all your job applications? Did you or have you? Okay, so the answer is yes. Someone said no. Who answered that? Let me see. Christian, yes. It's a big no-no. Sending the same generic resume to all companies or clients is really a no. Recruiters and hiring there's someone, yes, that's correct. We all might have at some point in our job applications have done that. But yes, we are here to correct that. Okay, so recruiters and hiring managers, we will be able to spot it immediately if you're sending a generic resume. Okay, and when you do that, that's why we do not recommend it, because when you do that, you will significantly lower your chances of getting hired or getting an interview invite. Okay, so we strongly recommend that you tailor your resume to every application. So say if you are applying for a social media manager, then create a resume specific for that role that you are applying, and do not just send a resume, say with a you're applying for an SMM, and then your resume would say general VA. Okay, and then but there are also some instances that um some applicants would, put all their job roles in the resume. So say for example, they're trying to apply for an ISA position. So they would say Juan de la Cruz, ISA lead generation, appointment setter, appointment setter, cold caller. So we really do not recommend that you do that, because you might be giving the impression to your recruiter or client that you are a jack of all trades and a master of none, or you don't have an area of specialization or expertise. So if you really have a lot of expertise to offer, then my tip would be to look at the job title or the job description that you are applying for, and then pick the job role that best fits, or specifically for that, you put the position that you are applying for in your resume matching with the job that you are with the job title that you are aiming for. Okay, now next slide. Photos. Okay, so use neat looking, presentable, and recent professional photo. Again, I would like to emphasize the word recent. Okay, do not use photos that are 5 years, 10 years long, because you will fall short of the expectation versus reality image. Because sometimes we would, not really to discriminate, but sometimes we get surprised when we jump on the Zoom call with an interviewee, because the resume say He's very skinny in the resume, and then boom, during the Zoom call, oh, plus 5 pounds, plus 5 kilos. But it's not really about the weight or anything. But you know, you want to make sure that you provide a recent photo so that when we get to interview you, we know that it's really you. It's not someone else. Like it's a different person in the resume and different person that we are talking to in the interview. Okay, you get that? I'm not discriminating, okay? Just just to have an example. All right, so why is it important to use a photo in your resume? Number one, it will help you build your brand. Number two, it is beneficial to global seekers. And number three, hiring managers and clients are drawn to looking at images. Okay, but mind you, there are other countries that I know that are, say, UK, Ireland, Canada, to name a few, some parts of it. They are very strict with their labor laws and they do not require photos in the resume because they do not want to discriminate applicants in their hiring process as to age, gender, race, or appearance. But in our case, I suggest we use a photo. And again, when you're using a photo, make sure that they're a good one. Okay, they're professional looking, presentable, and recent and clean looking. So samples of good photos are like this. So you're, as much as possible, it's okay to tilt a bit. It's okay if you're camera facing, as long as you're decently dressed and as long as you have a neat background, then you are good to go. So don'ts in putting your photos in the resume. Do not use selfie images, okay? Because you don't want to have the impression for your employers that you're not a fan of extra effort. Just a quick selfie and then boom, that's it. Okay. And then don't cause distractions. That means to say that you want your employers or your recruiters or your clients to focus on your skills and your abilities and your experiences and not on your looks. So don't have that crazy hairstyles, don't have that experimental makeup. Like I really had experiences with having an applicant with an orange hair, with a pink, green, purple hair, with like Dragon Ball hair and all that. And then don't oversize your photos. So don't make your photos take up a lot of room in your precious resume, especially if you're an experienced BA. So you have a lot of information in your resume. Okay, so these are bad samples of photos to use. So see there in the first picture, it's a selfie, very informal. So it's like you're just sending a photo in your GC. And the second one, you're not dressed for the position. So avoid, not being decently dressed and not really formal. And it's good to put on makeup, but not really the modeling type. We also like receive um an application from an applicant wherein 1/4 of his resume um it was consumed by his photo, and it was the photo that he used was from a photo shoot he did maybe for a modeling stint. So he was like with his sunglasses on, with his sunnies on, with his polo open button down, with his chest showing, and with his abs showing. So please don't do that, okay? Because you are applying as a VA and not as a model. Okay, just an example. All right. So next one is the objective or the summary. So objective or summary or a resume profile, in some other terms we would call it, is the objective or summary or statement on your virtual assistant resume, and it acts as your elevator pitch. So it highlights your most impressive skills, experience from past virtual jobs, and it tops it off with a proud achievement using numbers to prove that no one else is even remotely as talented as you. So your objective and summary is what will set you apart. So usually if you're a newbie or say a fresh graduate, most of the time we often use career objective. But when you use career objective, that will somehow tell your client what I want from your company, what I need from your company. I'll show an example later. But if you are creating if you are creating an objective or a summary, a resume profile, that will tell your client what you can do for them, because clients are looking for VAs, and the question would always be, what's in it for me? What can I get from you? Why will I hire you? So what will speak for that is your objective. Okay, so sample. So these are the generic ones. Seeking a challenging position in a reputed organization. See, even the company is not really is not specific. So you know that it's just a generic resume where I can learn new skills, expand my knowledge, and leverage my learning. So it's you trying to provide value, but not really quite, because you're trying also to, get something from the client or from the company, to get an opportunity where I can make the best of my potential and contribute to the organization's growth, seeking a position in a company where I can launch my career and build a valuable skill set. So those are really not bad. Those are somehow okay, but we do not recommend it. So this is how you should do it. So this is, for example, you're applying for a social media manager role. So enthusiastic social media. So there's a verb, enthusiastic. What is the position? Social media manager. What is the length of your experience? With 6 years of experience. So that means you have an authority. That means you are advanced in that industry or niche. And I am highly skilled in creating an engaging content and campaigns that will increase brand awareness, website traffic, and customer loyalty. So that is what you will offer. That's your proposition for your clients. And increase website traffic for XYZ. So that means by 25%, brand exposure by 40%, and positive sentiment by 35%. So that means that will show or reflect your past achievements. Okay. So meaning that is what you have done already. That is what you have proven already. That's your proof. Okay, another example. So if you're a graphic designer, you can say creative graphic designer with 5+ years of experience, seeks to use exemplary time management skills to lower project time at XYZ, develop over 300 graphic projects, increase client transactions by 30%. See, which do you think the client will hire? The one with a career objective, with the generic one, or with this one? Meaning to say you have a track record to show. Okay, next. So even if you don't have your portfolio with you, your resume will stand out itself. And if you're a customer service representative, you can say it like this: likable and dependable customer service representative with over 10 years of professional experience, seeks to join XYZ Incorporated to go above and beyond customer expectations in order to ensure an unrivaled shopping experience. So what have you done? Kept customer retention rate 20% above average, receive over 95% positive survey results from customers, awarded CSR of the year twice in a row, 2021 and 2022. See, that will really set you apart from other candidates. Okay, next. Resume sections, you just have to make sure that each resume area pop by highlighting and bolding the different resume section titles. So it's easier for us to scan. Okay, what did you graduate from? So education. Okay, what's your work experience? We go to experience right away. What are your skills? We go to that section. Okay, so those are just some of the things that you need to highlight in your resume. Next. Work experience. So with your work experience, when you try to list down your work experience, you just have to, number one, use reverse chronological order. So list your last work assignment first, followed by the next one, and so forth. So do not start with 2005 and then 2023 at the bottom of your resume. We want to look at your most recent experience or employment. Okay, don't make it hard for recruiters. And then, yeah, just if you look at the examples on the left side, so the position, the company or the client name, the location, and the inclusive years, and some of your responsibilities that you have performed. Okay, so let's just go quickly by that. Next slide. Okay, so work history, it's okay. We have tackled that already. And then for your education, now if you think that education doesn't really seem important because um it's just a waste of time because it doesn't really matter if you're a college graduate or not. Now I tell you, you have to think again. Just because you likely don't need any college degree or for most VA jobs doesn't mean that you shouldn't add or your schooling onto your resume. So again, do it in reverse chronological order with your most advanced degree or certificate. So if you have a master's degree, put that first. If you have a college degree, put that first. And also, you really don't have like the latest with creating a resume. You really don't have to list down from kinder to grade school to high school. If you have put in there that you're a college level or a college graduate or a master's degree level, you really don't have to put all those primary school levels. Okay, because we wouldn't care much about that anymore. And then, yeah, skills. So take note of the professional skills that you have, including hard skills and soft skills. And that's why also when you apply for a job, you really have to look at the qualifications, because the qualifications listed, those will also be the skills that you have to pick and put in your resume. So say for example, um, you are applying for the executive assistant role, so they would need someone who can do multitasking, who is keen to details, who have attention to details, have high organizational skills. So those are the top 5 that you will put in your resume, because that will somehow make you stand out and let the employer know that, hey, these are the skills that I'm looking for in a VA. Okay, next. So these are the lists of the skills that you can choose from. So don't worry, we'll send you a handout. I'll send you a handout on this topic. So we don't have to go through everything. All right. And also just a reminder, when you put your skills, again, pick your top 5 and then please refrain from rating your skills. So as much as possible, the listing is already good, but somehow it would give a conflicting impression when you try to say have that graphic bars or say 90%, 75%. So say in your objective, you say that I'm an experienced 6+ years graphic designer, but you have rated yourself in graphic design with 75%. So that will somehow conflict, somehow cause a conflict with your expertise. So avoid rating it, avoid using progress bars or rating bars. Okay, next. And then for your references, that's optional. So some employers conducts background checks, so that's okay. But when you do, just provide the name, position, email, and the contact information. But it's also okay to provide it when it is asked. But also do not put in your resume that, hey, reference is available upon request. Do not put that anymore in your resume. Okay, next one. So interest and hobbies, that's optional. Just make sure that when you put it in their interest, put something that is still related to your job title. Do not put anything that playing with my cousin, playing badminton, or anything that are not really, related or somehow impressive. And then not necessary you put the certifying statement, because I see some applicants putting, I hereby certify that the above information are true and correct. So don't use that. Okay. And make sure that the font size for resume is around 11 to 12. And then so that it's readable and easy to parse. Okay. So that's it for me. Thank you so much. We have a few time left. Okay. So thank you, and our next speaker. So we already have know what are the roles of a VA, the tools and equipment needed, and so right now you need to land your job interview. So how would you be able to ace it? So our next speaker is Amber Orbe.
All right. Thank you, Sha. So, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for staying on this webinar. Are we still good? So, comment one below. All right. So yeah, my name is Amber, and I'm here to discuss the topic on how to ace your interview. All right. So we have right here three parts. We have pre-interview preparation, what to do during the interview, and the post-interview preparation. All right. So let's start it off with the pre-interview preparation. All right. So the days before the scheduled interview, learn about the client or organization. Make sure you research the organization to which you are applying, as it can give you great talking points for the online interview. Learning about the work culture and background of the company can allow you to ask more introspective questions. So you can explore the company website as well as the client's social media. You can also try to do some research when it comes to the line of business, what are the services that they are offering, as well as the vision, mission, goals, and objectives of the company. And you can also try to research about the company history. So in that way, you can also determine what are the benefits or what are the skills that you can offer on the table for this company. Next one is read the job post. Carefully read through the job description and identify the points regarding the work culture, duties, responsibilities, technical and soft skills needed. This will give you a better understanding if what are the qualifications needed for the job position. And in that way, you will be able to know if you are good fit for what the client or company is looking for. All right, let's let's have the other one now. All right, there we go. So research and list down some common interview questions. So there are four types of questions right here. The general common question. So general common questions is mostly more frequent asked question. So these are the tell me about yourself, what are your strengths, what are your weakness, how do you see yourself 5 years from now? So that's more on the general common question. So job related question is the question that is related to the position that you are applying for. So if you're an ISA, expect that you will be asked more about the ISA role. For example, you will be asked if what are some of the tools that you already know when it comes to the ISA. So yeah, so we also have situational and behavioral question. When we talk about situational and behavioral question, that talks about assessing and evaluating the personality of the candidate. So the last one, we have the out of the box question. It examines the logical thinking as well as the critical thinking and the reasoning power of the candidate. All right, next one. All right, so we have here the common interview question. The first one is tell me about yourself. As we all know, tell me about yourself is considered as one of the most easiest type of question, but it is one of the most crucial question when it comes to the interview because it provides the interviewer with the opportunity to assess the communication skills and understand the background and as well as the qualification. And it will also gauge if you are fit for the role as well as for the organization or client. All right, so there are two types of tell me about yourself. So that's traditional and not written in your resume. So let's have the traditional. All right, so we have here the format for the traditional. So we have here the greeting. So hi, hello. So thank you for inviting me over on this interview. So you just have to state your name, educational attainment. If you don't have, you can also add certificates that you acquired. So we also have the work experiences from the past experiences down to the recent one. We have also the skills to offer, particularly technical skills that you can offer on the table. And we have also the tool software application that you know, and as well as achievements. And you must have a unique closing statement. All right. So next one, we have the not written on your resume. We have format one. So we have the introduction. So not written on your resume talks about the unique side of yourself. So you can do the introduction, the personal background that you have, your family background, the passion and hobbies that you have, which is correlated with the job position that you are applying for, and as well as the volunteer work or community involvement that demonstrate the initiative in you. So we have also leadership and collaboration. What's the size of people that you managed before? What's your own leadership style? So we also have professional development as well as summary and connection to the role. So let's
Ember,
have an
real quick
example for
before we
this.
move on. Sorry, I don't want to
Yeah,
cut you off. Sorry, I'm a little late. You guys will meet me later when I talk, but I just wanted to jump in on this part. This, when you are going for the interviews, is one of the most important parts. This is what I look most when I am hiring VAs onto our team. I want to know your personal background. I want to know your passions and your hobbies, because that tells me more about who you are. So the job, the experience, like that's all great, but I need to know when I'm making a hire that you're the right fit, you're the right kind of the core value, that cultural fit to the team. And a lot of that isn't shown on a resume. So this part, when you are going for interviews, you're going to want to make sure you have this nailed and know, those key points that aren't on your resume that is going to help a client, an employer know who you are as a person. It's extremely important. Sorry, I just wanted to chime in. So back to you, Ember. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. So yeah, let's have an example for this not written on your resume. So yeah, here's the thing. So thank you for the opportunity to share more about myself. While my resume provides a comprehensive overview of my professional experience, I'd like to take this moment to share some key aspects about me that are not mentioned in it. So let's have another one. So I came across diverse background, having grown up in different countries and culture. This exposure has shaped me, my adaptability and open-mindedness, allowing me to easily connect with people from various background and perspective. So outside of the work, I am deeply passionate about mentioned specific hobby or interest that is connected to the job role that you are applying for. So it's something that I've been pursuing for several years and has provided me with creative outlet and sense of fulfillment. So this passion also enhances my problem solving skills and ability to think out of the box. All right. So I actively engage in volunteer work within my community. I believe giving back and making positive impact in the lives of others. For instance, I have been involved. So just mention what type of volunteer work or community organization that you have. So where I have been contributed my time, skills, and describe the impact or results that you have that you the results that you achieve. So you can use star method to explain that one. So that situation, and about the results. So leadership and collaboration, I have a strong passion for leadership and collaboration. Over the years, I have taken on various leadership roles with different organizations or projects. These experiences have honed my ability to inspire and motivate teams, foster effective communication, and drive successful outcomes. Right. So I firm believer in a long life learning and continuous professional development. While my resume highlights my academic qualification and professional achievement, I consistently seek opportunity to expand my knowledge and skills. So I actively participate in workshops, industry conferences, and online courses to stay updated with emerging trends and advancement in my field as a VA. So yeah, so in summary, while my resume provides snapshot of the professional background, so this additional aspects about me illustrates well-roundedness, adaptability, and commitment to personal growth. So I believe these qualities align well with the values and requirement of this position. So I am confidently that diverse experiences and enthusiasm will enable me to make valuable contribution to your team. All right, so this is another format, so nothing to worry about. We will give you a resource for that one or handouts for that one. So we will also give you, common interview questions on how to answer several common interview questions and sample for that. So once you finish this webinar. So we have also what is your strength. So you just have to mention few strengths that are relevant to the job position, supported by example from your past experiences. So just focus on the
Sorry to cut you,
qualities.
Amber. Brian just raised his hand. Yes,
Oh,
Bri?
yeah. Yes, right.
Oh, they're so happy I joined. No, going back to when you're talking about the personal background and all those things, one thing to keep in mind, a lot of times when you're applying for the VA positions, you're going to know who the the interviewer is going to be, what company it is that is looking to hire you. Do your research, because one thing that's extremely powerful is finding some kind of commonalities. So if you know you are interviewing to be part of my team, you're going to want to, kind of find out who I am, what my business is, and see if there's things that you could see, whether you're looking at my Facebook page, whatever it may be. Feel free to stalk the person. I'll tell you, like, if you really want to impress in your interview, know about the person, know what their interests are. And then, because we have a real estate business as well. We tell our agents this all the time, like, try to find out who the client is that you're going to meet, and try to find a way to connect with them. If you see that on their Facebook page, they love to fish. All right, well, maybe if you love to fish, well, now you bring that up in conversation. It's just going to really form that connection. So the same thing. So like with me, if you look at my Facebook, you're going to see tons and tons of pictures of my kids, my dogs, so if you, and, obviously my kids are in sports, they play soccer. So if you're able to, find those kind of common grounds, and you're interviewing with me and you tell me how much you love soccer, or, you have kids who play sports, those kinds of things, one, again, better gets me to know you, but then it also shows me that you kind of went out of your way to find out who I am. So keep that in mind as well. So definitely, prior to interview, you're going to know who you're going to be interviewing with. So do some homework. All right, back to you.
All right, thank you, Brian. So let's continue. All right, so yeah, so let's have the weakness. So yeah, another format for the weakness is what is the thing that you still need to improve or know more. So discuss the genuine weakness, but present it in an opportunity for growth. So show self-awareness and explain the steps you have taken or taking to overcome that or improve that area. So how do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now? Other question format for that is what is your long-term goal for the company? So you just have to connect it with the company as well as your own, duties and responsibilities that can help the company grow. So we also have why should we hire you? So other question format, what sets you apart from the candidates? What makes you stand out from all the applicants? Or what skills you can bring to the position? All right. So hours or minutes before the interview. So find a quiet place. So select a place for online interview which does not have a lot of background noise, like your workspace or bedroom. You may avoid distractions like family members in the room, ringing landlines, as well as barking dogs. So next is choose formal and semi-formal attire. So you just have to wear formal clothes for video interview. That helps you to make a first good impression on the interviewers, and what you choose to wear for job interviewers may convey your seriousness and professionalism to the job. So we have also check your device. So you just have to check your laptop, desktop, audio, video, as well as internet speed before the interview. All right. So be sure to be quiet in conducive area or use noise cancellation headset. Right. So yeah, use decent background during the interview. You can use white wall background, or you can use any virtual background in Zoom or Google Meet. So join the virtual interview at least 10 minutes before the scheduled time. This will also create a good impression or remarks to the interviewer. So be sure to have a pen and paper with you for jotting down some details. And of course, stay composed and positive. So staying relaxed during the interview helps you maintain a professional tone. So when you remain calm during the interview, you can give better answers without getting confused or stressed. So next, what to do during the interview. So of course, first things first, greet and smile at the interviewer. So it is a must that you know how to greet the interviewer, as it is a sign of respect as well as professionalism. So be confident but not too overconfident. Show them the right amount of confidence. Just display the confidence in your ability and communicate your passion to the role. Be authentic and genuine in your responses, allowing your personality to shine through. And interviewers appreciate the candidates who are really true to themselves and can bring their unique perspective and strength to the team. So we have also to consider your body language. Your body language can represent a lot of your thoughts as well as your intentions. So using wide hands gesture while explaining exciting points during the interview may create positive impact. So you have also to have a eye contact during the virtual interview and avoid unnecessary mannerisms during the interview. So next, we have to let the interviewer finish the question first before answering the question. This allows you to fully understand the context and specific details that they're looking for in your responses. So by actively listening and allowing the interviewer to complete as well as their questions, you can demonstrate attentiveness as well as professionalism. So once they have finished speaking, you can also provide a well thought and let's say a tailored responses that addresses the query effectively. So next is listen carefully, of course, to the set of questions asked by the interviewer. So next is take time to answer the question. Actually, it is perfectly acceptable to pause and think to for a second and take a moment to gather all your thoughts and compose a well-structured responses before answering the questions. And interviewers also understand that the certain question may acquire um, a consideration for to answer that one. So especially if they are situational or let's say a complex in nature. So taking a moment to pause shows that you value the question and want to provide a meaningful response to it. So next is use a clear and direct language. So avoid fillers such as or like, make your point and don't rumble. So be concise and clear. So communicate your points clearly, avoid rambling or going off on tangents. So make sure your responses directly address on question and provide relevant information. And of course, this is really important, focus. So maintaining focus during the interview is crucial to make a positive impression and effectively communicate with the interviewer. So if you find your mind wandering during the interview, bring your attention back to the present moment. So take a deep breath, refocus, and actively listen to what the interviewer is saying. So own your spotlight. So do your best and show the best side of yourself. So take ownership and use the mantra that you can do it in your own best way. Don't overlook yourself and compare yourself to other candidates. You have your own unique side. So we have also be enthusiastic. So show enthusiasm, positivity, and can-do attitude throughout the interview. So it is not only seeking, interviewers are not only seeking individuals with the right skills, but also those who can contribute to the positive and collaborative work environment. And of course, pray. So whatever religion and belief you have, always pray before, during, and after the interview. So the divine guidance will give you a confidence to answer any set of questions. All right, so any additional tips for this one? So we have practiced your responses to common interview question to improve your confidence in articulation. So tailor your answer to highlight your relevant skills and experiences that align with the job requirement. So be concise and focus, avoid rambling or overly long responses. Maintain a positive, enthusiastic tone throughout the interview. So listen attentively to the interviewer and ask for clarifications if needed before responding. So use specific examples, metrics whenever it needs to be illustrated. So prepare and rehearse your answer, but aim to sound natural and authentic rather than overly rehearsed. So let's have the last one. We have the post-interview preparation. All right. So reflect on the interview. So take some time to reflect on the performance of your interview. So consider the question as your responses in any areas where you think you have done better. So this reflection will help you identify your strengths as well as your weakness. Of course, you can also send a thank you note. It's a good practice. So email them to the interviewers within 24 hours. So express your appreciation for the opportunity that you've been interviewed and reiterate the interest for the position. So this gesture shows professionalism and gratitude. So evaluate your experience, assess your overall experience with the company and interview process. Think about whether the role aligns with your career goals, as well as whether the company culture seems good fit for you. So this evaluation will make you an informed decision if you receive a job offer. So follow up if necessary. So if the interviewer provided you a specific timeline or duration for decision making, so respect that timeline. So however, if you haven't heard back within the given timeline, it's appropriate to follow up politely and inquire the status of your application. So learn from experience, regardless of the outcome. So treat each interview as a learning opportunity. Consider the feedback you receive from the interviewer and use it to improve your interview skills. So also reflect on the questions that stumps you and work on strengthening your knowledge in those areas. So lastly, stay positive and be patient. So fill the post-interview waiting time, reviewing your interview assessment, picking up some certain skills, new skills, and immediately preparing for your next interviews. If you have people with a connection to the company, try to connect with them and try to um, ask them for more insights or speak with the hiring manager. All right. So above all, if we're going to sum up all this one, we should remember that there are 4 P's. All right. We should plan, prepare, persevere, and pray. So these are your essential key or weapon in your interview battlefield. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for actively and attentively listening to to our webinar today. So yeah, go back. Let's go back to you, Sha.
Thank you so much, Ember. And with those tips that you have shared with us, I think that our base here will be able to slay their job interviews and land a job, not just any job, but their dream job. So, guys, if you find those tips helpful, type A if you agree in the comment. Type A if you agree. Awesome. All right, that's really helpful and relevant. And now we are very excited and I'm very pleased to introduce to you the man behind Leverage Virtual. So no other than let's give it up to the CEO and founder of Leverage Virtual, Mr. Brian Murphy. Hey Brian.
Hey. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate everyone for coming on today. Hopefully it was valuable. I know my team worked hard getting this put together. So I definitely thank them first and foremost, because they really kind of took the lead on this and ran with it. And then just needed me to show up. That's the great thing. You have an awesome team of VAs working for you. So yes, as Shah said, I am the CEO of Leverage Virtual. So again, my name is Brian Murphy. I'm also the director of operations with our real estate team. We operate one of the largest real estate teams in the state of New Jersey. And that's kind of where my journey began with VAs. Started using VAs a few years ago in that business. And, I just saw how much of an impact it made on that business. We were literally able to double our real estate business within a year through the use of virtual assistants. Even to this day, we only have one in-house staff member. Everyone else is VAs. So I know just, how valuable and how impactful VAs are, and the talent level that you get. So that's kind of how Leverage Virtual came to be. My VAs took so much off my plate that I was able to start thinking about other things. And, this company was kind of funny how it started. I woke up in the middle of the night one night and my brain was going a million miles a minute. And I just started having all these ideas. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about, my VA team and how much they mean to me. And I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I could start offering this to other business owners. Like, we have a really good team here. I kind of feel like I figured out a solid way to get the VAs incorporated into my business to make them as effective as possible, as quickly as possible. So literally all night, through the middle of the night, I just ideas running through my head about starting my own VA company. And the whole night it came down to 2 things, like 2 main goals or missions that I had with creating this company. And one obviously is to be able to, create more opportunities for other business owners to scale and grow their business. But second, and more importantly, was how started to become passionate about the Filipino culture, just through the use of, getting to know my VAs and what they could do, and just how impressive they are, not just work wise, but, culturally, personally. So one of my main visions became, providing as many job opportunities to the members in the Philippines, to the not members, but the people of the Philippines. And literally that's all I could think about all night was, how many lives I could impact, not just business owners in the US, but VAs in the Philippines. And I really just started getting excited about it. And it was literally, when they started, it was Shaw and Dal at 9 a.m. when they started their shift. I said, hey, can we jump on a Zoom? And we did. And I started telling them my ideas, and their eyes lit up and they said, yes, let's do it. So we literally just started building within, I don't even think it was a week, like Shaw and Dal managed to have a whole business set up. We had the name, we had logos, we had websites, we everything. And it's really just become amazing, to say the least, not just with the growth of this, but just how many lives we're impacting with this. And that to me is the important part. And that's what drives us and what makes us want to continue to grow. And we want to, we want to try to get as many VAs working and having an opportunity to grow with a US based company. That's one of the things with that sets us apart from some of the other VA companies out there, is when you get placed with a career with us, you're not working for us and we're just kind of renting you out or subcontracting you out to an employer somewhere that needs you part-time, or just for a month or 2 months. We want to place you with a business owner who you could really flourish with and grow and stay with long term. So that's why when we place you with a business owner, we're going to place you with a full-time, someone who's looking for a full-time employee that's going to grow. So that goes back to a little bit what Ember was talking about with the interview stuff. When you want to be clear and concise on your answers, and if you're not totally sure about a specific question, really stress the idea, or not the idea, but your I don't know what word I'm looking for, but this, with how much I know he used lifetime learner. So you want to kind of really harp on the fact that you love to learn and grow, because your roles are going to change. Because again, when we place our VAs, we want you to become an integral team member of that business. So kind of with Shaw and Dal especially, their roles have changed so much over the years working with me, because again, businesses change. You start to see that they may have strengths in other areas. So you're not going to be experienced in everything, but a business owner is going to want to know they're hiring someone that could learn a new task or a new job role. When Dal came on, she was just a bookkeeper with me. She does so much more now. And same with Shaw, where she went from being just a social media manager to kind of running all the marketing, and then being the CEO of our international team, because she has those leadership skills, and they're able to learn new tasks. So definitely, if I give you one tip on your interview, really focus a lot and try to work it into your questions or your answers about how much you love to learn and grow and take on new opportunities, because that's just going to help further your career. Too many VAs kind of get pigeonholed into one specific role, whether it's ISA, it's social media manager, it's, whatever, it's, database manager, whatever it may be. Too many VAs, employers will just hire a VA and just keep them in that role. But we try to really enforce it with our client, the business owner, and with the VAs, to really get to know each other, so how you could best help the organization. Because the best way you could help the organization may not be the specific role that you were hired for. So definitely, so make sure you keep that into consideration. Just really let people know how valuable you are based on how well you're able to adjust and take on new tasks, and have examples. So if you have examples of your work history where you may have been hired to do one role and then you were asked to take on another one, and have those responses ready to explain how you managed to do it. How did you learn the new role? How effective were you? How long did it take you to learn the new role? Because we'll have VAs, if you get hired in with like someone in real estate, for example, if you get hired as like an executive assistant, but then all of a sudden they need you to do transaction coordination work, how is your business owner, how is your employer going to know that you can do that? They'll know if you had those examples and you told them, how you've learned new tasks in the past. So definitely work that into your interview with how you're able to kind of adapt to changes. I think that's about it. I mean, I might have rambled a bit, but I appreciate everyone for being here. Definitely, we are going to be looking for a lot. We're growing. So, the opportunity with us, the culture we build with our VAs, is just really impressive. A lot of VAs that we've placed, they stay extremely engaged with other VAs, not just on my team, but with other VAs that we've placed as well. So definitely, share our company, let your friends, family members, anyone who is looking for a VA career, have them touch base with our team. Is that good, Sean? Anything else you need me to tackle?
Nothing else, Brian. Thank you so much, Brian, for joining us today. And you're very busy, but we really appreciate your time. And then Brian Murphy, everyone. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you,
And once
everyone.
again, we extend our warmest gratitude and thanks to all of you. We hope that you find this webinar to be enriching and helpful in your aim to land your dream job as a VA. And may it serve as your springboard to your professional journey, propelling you towards new horizons and opportunities. And as promised earlier, we are going to share with you Brian's ebook for free. And also we'll be dropping the links to the handouts for the webinar topic. So yeah, before you go, grab those links, guys. And again, don't forget to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe to our social media pages and join our community and groups for more trainings and tips in the future. And also Leverage Virtual Careers, if you are interested to join Leverage Virtual and apply for the open positions. Again, let us embark on this exciting adventure together where possibilities are endless and success is within reach. Thank you for joining us and God bless everyone. Bye. Have a good day. Have a nice Friday. Happy weekend, everyone. God bless you.